Facebook Live.
I'm live. We're not live.
We are. Okay, she's starting right now. Absolutely.
My screen shorter, we'll open at 6 feet.
Hey guys, we'll be coming up to that.
Right on my hand.
There she is. Go ahead, Emily. Sure, baby.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We're going to start in just a minute. We appreciate you being here. We have a lot of great information and updates to share, so we'll get started in just a minute.
Of course.
Two yesterday. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank the media for being here this morning to help us get the word out to all our people. Communication is everything, particularly in a crisis like this. If you don't know what to do, you can't be held responsible for doing it or not doing it. So we're here just today as an information sharing, make sure everyone knows what they need to know to keep them safe and hopefully prevent any great future occurrences with this virus. On behalf of the Clay County Commissioners of Clay County and the Unified Command, which is with us today, which includes the Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Department of Health, we're here to provide you with that information that's necessary. And I'd like to emphasize that we have a strong team in place. You're going to meet most of them here this morning. All good people, and the people that work for them are good people. That's the most important part. And we're here to assist the citizens of Clay County as far as assisting them with critical needs, with supplies, and help them to prepare and protect their friends, their family, and equally important, or more important maybe, themselves. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get directly into our speakers this morning. We'll have a time you can ask questions. And at this point, I would like to introduce John Ward, the Director of our County Emergency Management Department. John? Right here, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. John Ward, Director of Emergency Management, Clay County. I just wanted to come in and give you a brief update on the COVID-19 here in Clay County, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Heather Huff and give us a little bit more in details. Just kind of update us on the current cases. We currently have 8 cases. We had one unfortunate gentleman that deceased last Wednesday, so that gives us a total of 7 active cases, and all cases are isolated and being monitored and investigated by the Department of Health. One thing I'd like to ask the citizens of Clay County, and they've done a great job of it so far, is as we go through this unprecedented event here in Clay County, is to remain calm. Check on your elderly neighbors, check on your first responder family neighbors, those type things. We're going to get through this. It's just going to be a potentially long 8 to 10 week period as we're managing through this. Remember social distancing, keeping our distance. I will say the cases are slowly rising in Clay County. They're rising slower than predicted, and that's because you as our great citizens are doing as asked and following the CDC guidance by social distancing and not being in large group gatherings. Another thing we want to ask is do not believe unofficial sources. There's a lot of false information out there. The government or the military is not locking your homes down. We want to reiterate that. There's a lot of false information out there. Please only pay close attention to the CDC websites, the Florida Department of Health, and the Clay County BCC website, and the Florida Emergency or the Clay County Emergency Management Facebook pages. Our county parks are still currently open. We ask that you don't have any group gatherings, but get out and enjoy our parks. Now's a great time to get out and see the sceneries at the parks, those type things. And then the other thing I'd like to talk about is I'd really like to thank the partnerships that we have here at the county. That is why we've been so successful here at the Unified Command and all the other partners that we have here in the county, to include one that will be speaking, and that is the Clay Chamber. We are fortunate to receive the Small Business Association loans and grants that's been turned on by our federal partners, and the Clay Chamber is going to be taking the lead on that. He's going to be up to speak on it, but we just wanted to thank them. So again, I want to appreciate everybody continuing to listen to the guidance that is put out, and thank you. Ms. Heather?
Thank you, John. So he gave the update of the 8 cases. As the health department director, I do predict that those numbers will go up because we have more availability of testing. Commercial testing has come online, and they are actually producing more than our public health labs because of their capacity abilities. So I do predict that those numbers will go up. Regardless if you test positive or negative at this point, if you are sick, you should stay home. That is the message regardless of a test. So we want to talk about testing and what's available. Currently there is a federal asset in theater in Duval County at the TIAA Bank, the Jaguars Lot J. That testing has been open since this weekend. It originally opened with only individuals that were age 65 or older with fever and signs and symptoms. That has now been extended to anyone of any age with fever of 99.6 or higher, along with respiratory illness. And any first responders or healthcare providers can go and get tested regardless of any signs and symptoms. They have the capability of doing about 250 tests a day, and as of this morning, they still had some capabilities of that. The main thing to remember is that you must bring your own pen. You must have a photo ID with you. Make sure you don't take any fever-reducing medications the 4 to 6 hours prior to going to testing. Healthcare providers and first responders must bring their work ID, and you're to remain inside your vehicle at all times. And the key thing is there's no public restrooms also, so make those pit stops before you get there. And then I want to talk a little bit about our nursing homes and our assisted living facilities. They hold a lot of our vulnerable population here in Clay County, and we want to make sure that we're protecting them. And so we've been sending out guidance to them since the start of this regarding the screening and assessing their staff when they come in on a regular basis, looking at no visitors, and most of our ALS and nursing homes have been completely compliant with everything that we've been doing. We've been doing 2 times a week calls with them, providing more information to them regarding what's happening and going on. The latest thing that I really want to provide back to those assisted living and nursing homes is that it's not recommended for family members to come and take their loved ones outside and check them out for the day and then expect to bring them back in. Not only is it a risk for the individual that's being checked out, but it's also then a risk for all the residents that are back in that facility when you bring them back in. So it's highly, highly discouraged from them doing that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is prevention. Again, isolate, social distancing 6 feet or more apart. Limit the times that you're going out of the house. Get what you need when you do for essential items such as groceries and pharmacies. Washing your hands frequently, and even social distancing within your house is not a bad idea also. So I'll be turning it over to the sheriff. I'm sorry, I didn't get that cute.
Hey everybody, I'll keep it brief. The decisions that have been made at both the federal, state, and local level are decisions that are made to prevent the spreading and to aggravate what we know as COVID-19. Just a little update from the sheriff's office. We're taking measures to help mitigate the spread or contracting of COVID-19 within the Clay County Sheriff's Office All of our employees who wear the uniform have been equipped with personal protective equipment, PPE gear. In the jail, visitation has been discontinued with the exception of legal representation. We don't want to expose our inmate population to unnecessary health risks, just like we wouldn't want to expose anyone else with unnecessary health risks. We're doing all that we can to identify folks who are symptomatic, whether it be pollen exposure or anything. If they're sneezing and coughing and runny nose or showing any kind of symptoms, we send them home. And we ask that they get tested, and we won't allow them to come back until they get results from their physician saying that they are negative with respect to the subject. Listen, folks, the boat may be rocking, it's not going to sink. We'll get to the other side. It's not the first time in this country that we've been exposed to pestilence. We've seen Ebola, H1N1, swine flu, the list goes on and on and on. And, you know, wiser people than me have said this too shall pass. And this will pass. But don't expose yourself to any unnecessary risks. Follow the guidelines and guidance listed in the executive orders and the guidelines that have been articulated from our local government here, who are doing all that they can to keep you safe. And that's no different than the Clay County Sheriff's Office. We do what we can to keep our population safe. So remember the basics: washing your hands frequently, no unnecessary exposure, keeping your distances as articulated. And you know what? We're not insensitive to the fact that the decisions that have been made place some people in a bind financially. And if you find yourself in a situation where we don't want anybody starving to death or running into some major crisis as a result of this flu. If you do find yourself in a bind, let somebody know. And if you can't find anybody, let Clay County Sheriff's Office know. We have connections to resources that can help folks. And I want to put that out there because we don't want to see anybody suffering as a result of basically hunkering down in place and your family language as a result of it. So, you know, my hat's off to my partners here and to the folks in Clay County. Keep your chins up, live life. The sky's still blue, and I still see clouds in them, and it's not falling. We'll make it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Howard Wanamaker, Clay County Manager. I wanted to brief you on government operations and services, and limited as they may be. Clay County is still under a local state of emergency. I would anticipate that continuing on. It's through March 27th, and it's every 7 days that that's renewed. We have limited access to Clay County buildings, offices, and facilities. We've done that in order to social distance and to keep our team members and you all safe. You can please call before you leave your home to see if you can conduct business over the phone or via the website, and staff is ready to assist you in any way. The number is 904-284-6300. Again, 904-284-6300. You get a switchboard operator. It'll send you straight to the particular department that you may need, even constitutional offices. We've canceled all board, committee, and Clay County meetings through April 13th, and we're working on ways to conduct meetings virtually through a system called CMT. And there'll be more to follow on that, and we're going to test out these systems prior to that and to make sure on April 14th that we can start to conduct our first set of meetings in public meetings that way, and to keep you all safe. We've definitely seen a rise in spring cleaning out there. Rosemary Hill line to get to that facility is quite long and large. We ask that you utilize curbside collection. It remains both for garbage and recyclables as scheduled. If there's any changes to that, we will let you know. But again, please utilize that, and that'll prevent you from being out on the road and any interaction there at the facility. Now, when it comes to other services effective today, the tax collector offices throughout the county are closed to public access, but you can go on the website on claycountytax.com, or you can call their office, which is 904-269-6320, for any help that you need regards to tax collections That would be license plates, IDs, and things like that. The governor has extended those expirations out for the next 30 days, so there should be no worries if you have anything that's expired, and please just reach out to us if you have any questions on that. Both the property appraisers and supervisor of election offices are also closed to the public, but you can contact those offices directly to make an appointment, and you can visit them online to see if any business that you need to conduct, it can be done via the web that way. Senior centers, very important to know. We put out earlier last week the senior centers that we have, the 4 of them, in Orange Park, Green Coast Springs, Keystone Heights, and Middleburg. They are closed to the public. They remain open during 11 to 1 for to-go meals and drop-off. And those are for the registered seniors for those particular senior centers, so you all know who you are. And if you want to ask, and you can request this, a week's worth of meals, you just need to call your senior center up and coordinate that, and they will deliver that to your door, so you don't have to wait and wait in line and come to the facility to obtain the meal. So again, want to make sure that people out there understand food is readily available, as briefed last week, and there'll be more to follow in this news conference about food. We've got libraries are closed, but again, you can drop off your books or media that's there in the drop-offs. And please use our website to take advantage of the free online periodicals and services and resources that we have available there. So if you're stuck inside, go online, take a look at that. Finally, parks. As John had mentioned there, all county parks are still open till sundown. Okay, we ask you to limit the gatherings to 10. I do have an update on that. The town of Orange Park, per request of the mayor, all of those parks will be closed starting today. But again, this is the time to go out, okay, on a one-on-one, go biking, jogging, fishing, something like that, to just get outside that's there. Please take care of yourselves. Again, if you have any questions, you can call our 1-800 number at the call center, which is 877-252-9362. We have operators standing by and staff standing by to answer any and all questions that you may have. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce the mayor of the town of Orange Park, Mayor Connie Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wanamaker. I'm here again today to talk a little bit more about food. And first off, I want to thank everyone who has slowed down and has not surge bought in those stores. We really appreciate it. You've made room for our elderly. You have made room for our disabled. You have made room for people who have immune deficiencies. And we really do appreciate that. That's what community is all about. The stores assure us that the truckloads are coming in on a regular basis, and we will have plenty of food. They ask that you just buy what you need for the week. And if you do want to buy a little extra, I suggest you put it in the box in front of the store for our food banks, or take it by one of our food pantries, such as Green Coast Springs or Town of Orange Park, somewhere where that you know that people can be fed. That being said, if you are a food pantry in Clay County and we are not aware of where you are, maybe a church in a small area, please call the emergency management and let us know what you're doing, what your needs are. We really want to make sure our entire county is covered, and we want food to be distributed evenly. So please let us know that. Let us know where you are. I think a lot of people have been contacted, but not everyone, I'm sure. I'm sure there's some churches that are doing the work that we don't know about, or some other organizations that we don't know about, but we want to know about you. Also, if you are in need of food, please call emergency management. We have a vast list of where you can go and get food. There's someone that's delivering food almost every day of the week. So please let us know if you are in need. We need to know that, because we want to make sure that we're on top of this. We want to be proactive and make sure that food is covered for everyone. So thank you very much. And now Superintendent of School, David Brosky.
Good afternoon. Distance learning will begin on March 31st, right after spring break, in which we're changing the whole mode of operation in which students learn. Previously, as you know, students came to the school building Now we're taking learning out to the home. Let me just first start by saying that this has never been done in U.S. history, in the state of Florida, or in Clay County District Schools. This is going to require a lot of effort on everyone's part to see that the best possible learning opportunities go to our students. I have absolute faith and confidence that the district will in fact provide a good education for students, but I wanted to also set reasonable expectations for everyone. One thing that is for certain, some students don't have an internet device, a computer device in which to operate at home. For those individuals, we have just launched on our district webpage, oneclay.net/coronavirus, or on the district's main page, a way for parents to register to get that device. The district has thousands of devices available that we can give to families in need of such a device, but we ask that we do it in an organized fashion. Obviously, we want to maintain social distancing, and as a result, when you go to the website and complete the survey, it'll ask you what specific time, an hour time frame, that you would like to come to the school to pick it up. We ask that parents complete the survey. We will manage that survey and the data inside of it to ensure that we have a device ready for you at that time to pick up. Also on the website, there's directions. We're asking parents to not get out of their cars, to pull forward. We'll have numerous people there to expedite the process and deliver those Chromebooks to students in need. It's very important that we do this, and everyone does this in an organized fashion. We certainly do not want to do what we've seen happen in other areas of the state, where people are getting together in large crowds to distribute these items, which is why we set forth this process. We ask for patience in that regard. It will take numerous days, and the schedule will be posted as to what day each school will receive these items. So we ask for patience in that regard. I will also say that we'll post internet access information online, as well as have a hotline number for parents on our website related to internet access. Many providers have offered special deals and free usage of data in order to make this happen. I think that our partners recognize that fact and are stepping forward, and will include that information. I also want to point out that meal service for our 39,000 students will begin again on March 31st. We've added 2 new schools, so the schools involved beginning March 31st, Keystone High School, Charles E. Bennett Elementary, W.E. Cherry, Ridgeview Elementary, Wilkinson Elementary, S. Bryan Jennings, and Middleburg Elementary. Food service will be from 8 to 9 for breakfast and for 12 to 1 for lunch. Let me just stop by saying that Clay County District Schools recognizes the role of the school system in the lives of the 39,000 students and the families and extended families. I can tell you without a doubt that the system has a servant's heart for all of our students and all of our families. I will say this, I will echo the remarks of several speakers. This too will eventually pass, and together we can do much. We need to stick together, be patient with one another, and move forward in a positive direction. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Wendell Chindra. I am the president of the Clay County Chamber of Commerce. Today is a landmark day for, we found out, for the state of Florida. We had a conference call this morning with some officials in Tallahassee, and we found out through the foresight of Mr. Wanamaker and his team that Clay County will be the first county in the state of Florida, or at least near the top, in mobilizing the Chamber of Commerce to respond directly to businesses and their needs. That will include, we have changed everything on the Chamber's website. We will load, and we have loaded, the links to SBA. We have loaded the links for Florida Biz for loans. We've also contacted CareerSource, and we have loaded their information that has to do with deployment and re-employment information. So we want to try to create a one-stop shop for you. Again, the Chamber website has been retrofitted for it, and the website address is www.claychamber.com. With that being said, a couple things. We have committed to keeping the Chamber of Commerce open. It is closed to public access so we can protect the staff, but we are committed to the businesses in Clay County, and we will stay open as long as we are allowed to do so. Most importantly, when Mr. Wanamaker and the team got together, the Chamber of Commerce, they have asked that we open this up to all the businesses in Clay County. So this is just not Chamber of Commerce members, and that's most important. And lastly, there's 3 things I will ask residents of Clay County to do to continue to support our businesses. Number 1, try to purchase gas in Clay County. Number 2, when you buy your groceries, purchase this in Clay County. And number 3, takeout. Support our restaurants. There's a lot of people attached to those businesses. We want to make sure those businesses stay open. We are committed to it. We believe that the resources and everybody coming together and collaborating at this county level will help us get through this. So God bless, and anything we can do for you, please reach out.
Very good words on the part of all of our speakers this morning. And again, the purpose why we're here is to stop the spread of this infection, flatten the curve, and to start the period of getting back to where we need to be. I just want to say, though, that the most important thing, probably individually, you can do is check on your neighbors and your relatives who are seniors. Give them a call. You don't have to go by, perfectly stay away from them. But call them, make sure they're okay. If they need groceries or medicines or whatever, make those runs for them. Don't let them get out and get infected, because right now it seems to be a lot rougher on those folks than it does the younger ones. We need to follow the protocol guidelines set up by the governor, as recommended by the Florida Department of Health and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It's the simple stuff. Avoid public gatherings, in close contact with others. Wash your hands frequently and don't touch your face. And stay home if you're sick. Those are probably the easiest instructions anyone could ever give a person as far as staying above this infection. And as I said, this is session 3 of our public service announcements. As I said, the first one I think is worth reiterating. Faith. We've got to have faith. We've got to have faith in the second cloth of our nation that stands behind me as the people that are putting together the national coalition to beat this thing down. We've got to have faith in the people, our own people who are working out there every day. These good folks here, your neighbors, we've got to have faith that they're going to do the right thing. And probably most importantly, we've got to have faith in our divine creator, our merciful God, who has promised us that we are his chosen people, and that we will get through this thing with his assistance. So that, again, faith is one of the critical things that's going to bring us through. Question and answer periods. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
So this is Laura Schasberger with the Clay County Sheriff's Office. We're Facebook Living this event as it's happening right now, and we've had some folks ask some questions, so I've been writing them down. The main question folks are asking is they're expressing concern about driving to Jacksonville from, say, Keystone or other areas of our county that are out there. Are there any testing locations in Clay County that they can take advantage of?
Daryl, did you get all that? Come on back up, brother.
I got it, sir.
Okay, as you were.
I got it. So just to address the testing, there's 3 federal testing sites that have been established in the state of Florida. That is Jacksonville, Orlando, that will open Wednesday, and then Miami. Jacksonville opened on Saturday and was the first one in the state of Florida to open. The testing swabs and supplies are limited across the nation, so that is why you're seeing limited testing supplies. So that is the only place really that they could go. They can go to their respective doctors, get reviewed, and then passed on from there. Heather, do you have anything else you want to say about that?
Yeah, and the main thing about the testing site in Jacksonville is you do not need a provider order. So you do not need to see your doctor first. Again, it's those signs and symptoms that we talked about, fever 99.6 or above, along with respiratory illness. Bring your photo ID, your own pen, and they'll be able to see you and be able to get the swabs. Did you have other questions, ma'am?
No, ma'am. I think we covered it. Thank you.
Heather, for those that did the drive-in, what kind of timeline are we looking at with regards to the testing?
So just to give you a little bit of what that schematic looks like, there are 9 lanes. They can serve about one car, up to 4 people in a car every 15 minutes. So they have high capacity at this point. As of this morning, there was no lines, no wait. So if you feel like you have those signs and symptoms, we encourage you to get tested. But at the end of the day, testing, there's no treatment. And so again, if you're sick, you should stay home, hydrate, fever-reducing medications, and if you get so sick, then seek urgent or emergency care.
And what's the time frame for when you get tested, when the results come in?
So they vary depending on what lab they get sent to. For public health labs, it's about a 48-hour turnaround. Sometimes we're getting it quicker than that. LabCorp and Quest that are coming on board, along with some other hospitals and things like that in different communities, those time frames vary. I will tell you the time at LabCorp is about 7 days out. But I think as they come on and they do more and they get those systems and processes working better and more efficient, I think that timeline will shrink.
Any other questions? No questions? Any final comments from our staff? Okay, folks, this press conference is now concluded. Thank you so much for being here.